Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth.
It's being called the slap that was heard around the world. Actor Will Smith smacked down Chris Rock at the Oscars. Now, I got to admit, I purposely decided this year I was not going to watch the Oscars. I have watched them from time to time over the last few years so I could make political commentary on them here, but decided that this year I wasn't going to do it. First of all, we had the pre-Oscar so-called controversy that Sean Penn was demanding that the Academy allow the president of Ukraine to be able to address the audience. I wasn't aware that Zelensky had been in any movies in 2021. But, to make this plea, because according to Sean Penn, they're over there taking bullets for us. You mean a contrived war that Joe Biden really did everything he could to stoke the fires of and make happen. That's not to take away from the fact that Putin really did cross borders and he really is unleashing death and destruction over there. We're not trying to take away from the suffering of the Ukraine people. But the United States has done everything it could to keep fanning this into flame. Even over the weekend, Biden saying that Putin gotta go. He can't stay in power. And now, 24 hours later, the White House is in continual spin mode and trying to backpedal. Because even the other nations of the world have said, whoa, hold on. So we'll put that on pause. But hey, Penn, I look forward to your up-and-coming video where you're going to smelt your Oscars. Because that's what you said you would do. If they didn't have the president of Ukraine on, you were going to melt down your Oscars. Okay, I'm looking forward to that video. The direction of the Oscars this year, they wanted to stick with, quote, movies. Well, what a novel idea. That's what they're about, supposed to be, movies. But many of us have tuned out and tuned off because it every year just gets more and more nasty when it comes to politics. And of course, this year, again, no exception, while they lament and cry about that each year the audience is less and less and less and less, they decided that there were 8 specific categories they would no longer televise because maybe that's the reason millions and millions of people aren't tuning in to see who had the best live action movie short. No. There's 2 reasons why people don't watch the Oscars anymore. Number 1, we are sick and tired of having Hollywood's elite lecture us about our politics. And number 2, we're tired of movies being nominated that we never heard of. Movies are up for Best Picture, Best Director, when foreign movies are winning Oscar for Best Picture in the U.S. Foreign movies, not in English, not made here. You want to have a category for best foreign made? Great, groovy, go for it. But what's wrong with the American Oscars being about, what am I looking for here? American movies. So you got movies out there that nobody has seen, or the handful of people that have seen it think they're kind of lame, yet they get nominated. And then you ram your politics, and again, right out the gate, they started talking about what's not going on in Florida, that you can't say gay bill, which is not what that's about. That is what a gross mischaracterization. And Ron DeSantis had some things to say about that, and we'll deal with that in yet a different commentary. But I didn't watch last night, and Chris Rock, who I think is funny, and I like Chris Rock as far as comedians go, he took a shot at Jada Smith, the wife of Will Smith. And Will snapped and said, I ain't having it.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the out of me.
My wife's name
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay? That was a greatest night in the history of television.
Now, at first, a lot of people thought it was a gag, it was a setup, because it appears that Will is laughing, and he goes up on stage, he smacks Chris. Then that exchange off stage, or as Will is sitting there in the front row, and everybody knew, whoa, this is really on. This is really happening between these two. And Chris Rock, it was obvious he was very rattled. If you watch the rest of that after he goes, wow, this is like the greatest night in television, there's this long pause. You can tell he's dazed, he's stunned, he's in shock. And immediately, Twitter began to blow up. And at first, everybody was just kind of like down the middle. Like, wow, I can't believe that just happened. It was like all the woke liberals ran to Twitter but didn't know what to say because they didn't know who's the bad guy and who's the good guy. They didn't want to pick sides. Can I help you? What would make this real easy? Had Chris Rock made a crack about a white actress and her husband, a white guy, gone up on that stage and smacked on Chris, I can tell you exactly what would have happened. Not only would Twitter have exploded and it would be 99 tweets to 1 in favor of Chris Rock, but members of the Academy security would have escorted the white dude out of there and charges would have been pressed and he would have been arrested. Period. But here you've got two Hollywood icons within the African American, representing African Americans in the entertainment world. And now you got two of them having this back and forth. Chris Rock did not press charges. Will Smith was not removed and was allowed to go up and give an acceptance speech when he won Best Actor of the Year.
Man, Richard Williams was a fierce defender of his family. I'm being called on in my life to love people and to protect people and to be a river to my people. Now, I know to do what we do, you got to be able to take abuse. You got to be able to have people talk crazy about you. In this business, you got to be able to have people disrespecting you. And you got to smile and you got to pretend like that's okay. But Richard Williams, and what I loved, thank you, D. Denzel said to me a few minutes ago, he said, at your highest moment, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you.
Now, Will won this actor for his portrayal of Richard Williams, the father of Venus and Serena Williams, the absolute tennis megastars. I've seen the movie. I enjoyed the movie. It was a good movie. Well-made movie. I really enjoyed the movie. And especially those of you in Orlando, Florida, it was a thumbs up to the training program, and it was a good movie. Now, there's all kinds of back and forth, but it seems to be more in favor of people feeling sorry for Chris Rock and Will Smith, how could you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So let's set a little context, a little background. Wasn't necessarily going to talk about anything with regard to the Oscars today, but this is all anybody wants to talk about, and it beats talking about Biden's contrived war so that he can have something to blame, supply chain crisis, inflation and gas prices, which have nothing to do with sanctions on Russia. It has everything to do with Biden / the Democrats' mishandling of the economy and declaring war on the fossil fuel industry. Period. But let's deal with this because this is what everybody's talking about. For years, Will Smith has been on a path that he wants an Oscar. Movies like Pursuit of Happiness, a great movie. I watch that movie every Father's Day. I cry every time. Love that movie. It's an inspiring, uplifting story. Love it, love it, love it. He made the movie Ali, hoping to get an Academy Award nod, and he didn't. He made the movie Concussion, hoping to get an Academy Award nod, and he didn't. In fact, that year, 2016, he didn't go to the Oscars because he didn't get nominated, and his wife protested the Oscars, calling it too white, refusing to go, and Chris Rock took a shot at him during his monologue. Now fast forward 2022, and Chris Rock takes a shot at Will Smith's wife again, who has a disease which has caused her hair to fall out. Well, actually, it causes patchy baldness, and so she went ahead on TikTok and shaved her head, embracing her new look. And she's very public about this. Chris Rock makes a joke that wasn't really all that funny about her being in G.I. Jane 2. Remember, Demi Moore made the movie G.I. Jane, and in the movie, she got her head shaved. It was a joke. It wasn't all that funny. You'd have to really know the G.I. Jane storyline to kind of get it. And Will Smith, he's kind of laughing. But you could tell his wife was visibly upset about it, and Will just kind of snapped and said, that's it. And this has been going on now for several years, and again, the Smiths have lived their life very openly. They have an open marriage. They talk openly that they've been with other people, yet they're together as husband and wife. And when you live your life like that, and you Instagram everything, and you throw everything out there, and you calculate every move that you make in your career because you want that Academy Award. When you're that public, you shouldn't be all that surprised that you're going to take some heat for it. And Will Smith acknowledged that, yeah, I know it's coming. And we can say, was he sincere in that acceptance speech? Everybody talks about how he apologized to the Academy, and he hopes they invite him back, but he didn't apologize to Chris Rock. Well, maybe after years and years and years of being the butt of jokes, and there have been a lot of jokes made by a lot of comedians and a lot of big venues about Smith and basically being kind of a baby for not getting an Academy Award head nod. Maybe, to be honest, as a guy, Will Smith just said, that's enough. I am sick of this. That's enough. And he's sticking up for his wife, and he's just sick of it, period. I can certainly understand that. But as everybody gives their opinions about all this, and again, it's now really leaning in favor of Chris Rock. And I tell you, this has been the best thing to happen to Chris Rock's career in a long time, because he's going to get a whole lot of love because of all the sympathy. And I do feel bad that Will Smith, after years of wanting so desperately to win an Academy Award to prove that he is a serious actor, and he is an incredible talent, this will take away from it. Hollywood's going to make him do, at some point, the apology tour. Just ask Kevin Hart will. Just ask. You're going to have to. Or you're going to get treated like Mel Gibson. Doesn't matter what kind of a brilliant filmmaker you are, you're going to get ostracized if you don't tout the party line. So life's going to get very different for Will Smith moving forward. And I am sure that black entertainers, they are betwixt and between, and they don't know what to say, don't know what to do right now. At some point, I do believe these two guys will reconcile, and who knows, a year from now, they may even do a gag together at the Academy Awards to let everybody know it's okay. Chris Rock walks out, realizes, oh man, I got to present to Will Smith, and somebody runs out and puts a boxer's headgear on him. I don't know. But they'll do something at some point to let everybody know it's all okay. And they'll be allowed to move on. Will Smith at that point will be allowed to move on. But again, certain other actors, especially if your politics are wrong, you're never allowed to move on. But as everybody weighs in and gives their opinion, the nags over at The View, they had to talk about this today. And of course, Joy, not a babe heart, she had a totally different take on this. Because remember, she's a comedian, or at least she thinks she is.
Comedians are in danger everywhere.
Yeah.
That, you know, they want us to be edgy. They want us to go out there and say things that other people are just thinking. They want us to take a risk, and then they get mad, But, you know, that's what's happening lately. People get mad. You know, one time I was doing a college gig, and they didn't like me for some reason. I don't know. They started throwing popcorn at me. So I did what I always do. I walked off.
Gotta love it. She takes a moment that is totally, completely not about her at all and makes it about her.
Comedians, we're just under attack, and we gotta have like our own security guards because we're just under attack. I mean, I had people throw popcorn at me.
I wonder what Chris Rock's reaction was if he saw that clip. That white is talking about having popcorn thrown at her. I got slapped on international television. You hearing me? Are comedians, when did the role of a comedian become so deified that comedians have been outraged this whole time that they haven't been allowed to crack certain jokes? The woke people have gone after them, and they thought they were untouchable because, after all, they're comedians. The woke people even went after Dave Chappelle. How dare they? You can't come after me. I am a comedian. I defecate marble. So comedians are allowed, literally, they're this protected class. They get to say anything, insult anyone, be as mean as possible, and as long as it's done in the name of a joke, it's okay. Huh. Must be great to be a protected class and species like comedians. The bottom line is, they don't really feel that way. I mean, you play old excerpts of Don Rickles and the comments, the black jokes he made directly at people like Sammy Davis Jr. Now you see Sammy laughing. You see the other black entertainers sitting there laughing, but you know, you play those clips now, Don Rickles would be called a racist, a bigot, and these poor entertainers being forced to laugh while they're being ridiculed and made fun of by a racist pig. But as long as the comedians are attacking the right and attacking traditional values and faith and America, they get to say whatever they want. And how dare Will Smith get upset that his wife, who's got a disease which has caused her hair to fall out, really doesn't want to hear any bald jokes. You know, everybody today is talking about, well, he could have just said something in a speech that Chris, that joke was inappropriate, or you know what? Oh, and The View also went on to say that the Oscars last night were toxic maleness on parade. Here we go. Toxic maleness. How about just men being men? The bottom line is, in reality, I have had friends get mad at me. I've gotten mad at friends. And in my younger years, I have popped a friend and a friend has popped me. And you know what? Sometimes we kissed and made up and life went on. And then there were times friends go and new ones come in and life goes on. And really, we just happened to see two guys being guys last night. That's really all this is. Had to comment on it because everybody and their brother's commenting on it. And I will add this one caveat. Hollywood, as you sit there and lecture all of us on how we're supposed to live our lives, watching you guys not even being able to control your own during an awards ceremony is sweet, poetic justice. Take all of your self-help advice that you're constantly preaching at us, everything from Ukraine to don't say gay and mocking traditional faith and values. Take all of your advice and trying to re-educate us and shove it. Because at the end of the day, when two dudes are mad, two dudes do what they're gonna do. Period.